Hey there, movie fans. Welcome to the Blues of April 2021. I'd like to begin with a shout out, and this one is for Grindhouse Funhouse. This is a great channel that is dedicated to cult and underground cinema, exploitation, action, sci-fi, horror, mainly from the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. His videos are very enjoyable. He does collection updates, reviews, shelf-by-shelf videos, and many more. And I believe he's from Quebec. Correct me if I'm wrong there, my friend. But anyway, go and subscribe to his wonderful channel, Grindhouse Funhouse. Link is below. Okay, the first thing I want to show you that I purchased over the month of April is a video game. And I'm not really a gamer. I mean, I do like to play games every now and then, but I'm not an avid gamer. The last game I bought was Grand Theft Auto 5, and that was some years ago. This one is something that I have rented a couple of times at my local video store, which doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. And I saw a used copy on a marketplace for a good price, and I pulled the trigger, as they say. It is Star Wars Masters of Taras-Kazi, which contains, the characters from the original trilogy. Although this is a new character that was especially created for this game, and they're fighting each other, Mortal Kombat style, and I know that it's not a popular game among fans, but I've always enjoyed playing it, and I still do. PlayStation 1 game, by the way, as you already noticed. But yeah, very happy to have this in my collection. I have a small stack of DVDs here, and the first one is the Dick Maas Methode, or the Dick Maas Method. This is a documentary about the man who made, Dutch genre films such as The Lift, Saint, Amsterdam, and the Flodder trilogy. It's very entertaining, but also a little sad because he was screwed over by his business partner, and he lost the rights to his own films, and he used to have his own movie studio too, but that went bankrupt. Yeah, he didn't have much luck in his career, and he still does not have much luck today, because he has written a few screenplays, including a sequel to Saint, which I would love to see, but he has a hard time getting the money together to make these movies. So hopefully one day he'll manage to get them off the ground. But I thought it was a wonderful documentary. The Dick Maas Method. Here we have Les Unes et les Autres. Les Unes et les Autres. Yes, I know, my French is terrible. Anyway, this means The One and the Other. It's a French drama about 4 families from 4 different countries who are all in the music business. You can see James Caan here, and this is Geraldine Chaplin, excuse me. I've always wanted to see this film, and then I forgot about it. Until Ramon, aka the Dutch film buff, showed it in his video, and I thought, I better pick up a copy myself before I forget about it again. I'm getting old, what can I say? The last 4 DVDs are all from Wild East, and this one has In a Colt's Shadow, which I have on Blu-ray as well, and it's an excellent film. This is Savage Gringo, directed by Mario Bava. Now, I love Mario Bava, and but I've only seen one Western by him, and that is Roy Colt and Winchester Jack, and that was bad. Really, really bad. So I hope that Savage Gringo is going to be good. This is a Guy Madison double feature. Madison was the topic of last week's Spaghetti Western podcast with Jay Jennings and Tom Batts. He was an American actor who is most notably known as Wild Bill Hickok in a television show called The Adventures of Wild Bill Hickok. Before he went to Europe and made movies there, including these two, Reverend Colt and Vengeance is a Colt 45, also known as Son of Django. Yep, very nice. Here is a double dose of Rafael Romero Marcent. Marcent was a Spanish director who died early 2020, and his brother Joaquin Luis Romero Marcent was a director as well, and he's the one who made cult westerns such as Cutthroat 9 and The Seven from Texas. But anyway, this DVD contains Garingo, which I also have on Blu-ray, and this is Two Crosses at Danger Pass with Peter Martell. And finally, I have the Giuliano Gemma double feature with Days of Vengeance and a non-western for a change, Eric the Viking. Yep, very nice. I picked up my first Blu-ray of the Australian label Import, and this is a nice release. I would like to get more, such as Breakdown, Fire in the Sky, Day of the Locust, but it was very expensive to get this into the Netherlands. I paid about 50 euros for it, including shipping and import fees, and that is too much for just one movie. No matter how good the movie is, it's too pricey. You're probably wondering why I bought it in the first place. What can I say? I'm a sucker sometimes. So I need to find a way how to get it cheaper, or I have to wait until another label put these films out. But anyway, Black Sunday, not to be confused of course with Mario Bava's Gothic classic. This is a terrific suspenseful thriller by the late great John Frankenheimer, based on the novel by Thomas Harris, who later became famous for his Hannibal Lecter books. And it has a really good cast, including the always fantastic Robert Shaw. Here's a look at the other cover art. All these people running away from this giant boob. And there's a picture on the inside. Let me show you that quickly. Here it is. It's a nice release, like I said, but it could have been nicer if they included a booklet or a fold-out poster, anything to make it nicer or more complete. Now it's kind of lame, especially when you compare it with this one. This is the very first release from a new label called Fractured Visions. They're based in the UK, and it has a slipcase. It has a booklet, the Blu-ray of course, and it also has the CD soundtrack. Now this is how you do a proper limited edition. And anyway, this is Silent Action, a Pliszczewski by the great Sergio Martino, with Thomas Milian, Luc Miranda, and Mel Ferrer. I thought it was a really good film with a surprising ending. Fractured Visions did a wonderful job with this release. Limited to 3,000, region ABC. Yeah, they did a really good job with this one. Let me quickly show you the booklet here. They're also going to put out another Italian crime film with Thomas Milian, Free Hand for a Tough Cop, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Here's an essay about Mel Ferrer, American actor who made several films. Here he is. He made several films in Italy, including Nightmare City, Umberto Lenzi's zombie classic, although they're not really zombies. They're infected people, But yeah, this is a great release, and I'm curious to find out what else they're going to put out in the near future. Silent action. By the way, Black Sunday would make a great double feature with the very similar 2-minute warning that came out a year earlier. And like in Black Sunday, the crowd of a football stadium is in danger, but this time they're not being threatened by a blimp, but by a mysterious sniper. And I thought this was a really good film. A really good, gripping, suspenseful and underrated thriller with a stellar cast, including Charlton Heston as the police captain. And here he is, John Cassavetes. Oh. Anyway, that's John Cassavetes as the SWAT leader. His wife Jenna Rowlands is also in it, also with Bo Bridges right there. It even has a couple of cameos of familiar faces, like Andy Sidaris as a TV director. Sidaris is the director of masterpieces like Malibu Express and Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and Robert Ginty in his first film role as a vendor. Later, of course, he became known as the ex-Terminator. But this Blu-ray also contains the network television broadcast version. It's the longer TV version, and the extra footage are not deleted scenes from the original film. They are scenes that were created especially for the TV version. The director, Larry Pierce, was asked to direct the new footage, but he declined because he didn't like them, and I can see why. I didn't really watch the TV version. I went through it quickly, I used the forward button many times, and what I saw was pretty bad. So skip the TV version and just stick with the original film. It's really good. 2-minute warning. Next is Crazy Samurai Musashi, or as it says here, Crazy Samurai 400 vs. 1, which pretty much gives away the entire premise. 400 samurai against 1 samurai. This is Tak Sakaguchi. He's a cult actor who was in Versus and Reborn, and he plays Miyamoto Musashi, who was a legendary samurai, soldier, painter, writer. Toshiro Mifune played him as well in the Samurai trilogy from the 1950s. And I love samurai films, and I love films with sequences that are shot in one long take, and this is a combination of that. A samurai film with a 77-minute long, uninterrupted, continuous take. And I thought, this is right up my alley. This is my kind of movie. Unfortunately, it didn't quite deliver. It just didn't work as a movie. It's more of a gimmick, It's more of a experiment, really. It received mixed responses. I understand that some people don't like it. I understand why they lost interest and patience, because it does drag and it's very repetitive, But I do admire the effort they put into it, They must have rehearsed this hundreds of times, and they clearly put a lot of energy and time and effort into it. Especially Tuck, poor guy must have been exhausted, and that ought to be admired. There's a person on IMDb saying there are no decapitations. I think that's a little hard to do when you're shooting an action sequence in real time. Perhaps they tried it during rehearsals. Perhaps they tried many things during rehearsals, but they just didn't work out. They had a small budget, and I guess they did whatever they could. So, no decapitations, no body parts flying around. There is blood, but it's all digital. That was added later, which explains why Tuck's sword remains clean during the entire sequence. He slashes his way through 400 opponents, and there is not a single drop of blood on his blade. And also, every now and then, he stops and takes a drink. He knows exactly what the drinks are. It doesn't make any sense in the film, but it makes sense that he had to do that. When you're shooting a 77-minute long action sequence where you're constantly moving, you need to take a drink from time to time. You need to stay hydrated. So it's more of an experiment rather than an actual movie. And that's the way you should look at it, a cinematic experiment. And it was nice to watch, but I won't watch it again. I picked up the German media book of La Casse, or The Burglars, with Jean-Paul Belmondo as the professional burglar and Omar Sharif as the sadistic policeman who's hunting him down. Ramon, aka the Dutch film buff, is another shout out for you, my friend, showed this in one of his recent videos, and I immediately bought a copy for myself. I really need to get more Belmondo films, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the car chase sequence was absolutely brilliant, performed by Remy Julien and his team. Julien was a fantastic stuntman and stunt driver who sadly passed away in January due to COVID-19. But he was an absolute legend, and he also worked on several Bond films. And Belmondo did most of his own stunts as well. And there's one in particular that is absolutely crazy. Let me show you. There's some pictures here of that particular stunts. Here you can see performing on other stunts. There's the beautiful Diane Cannon, by the way. Oh. Omar Sharif. Yeah, the car chase sequence was absolutely great. Oh, here it is. This is the stunts that I was talking about that Belmondo did. He falls 300 meters down, and it was just crazy, absolutely crazy. Here's the director Henri Verneuil. But yeah, oh, this is Robert Hossein, by the way. He was also in Rafifi, and he wrote and directed and starred in a terrific spaghetti western called Cemetery Without Crosses. But yeah, I thought it was a very entertaining film. The Burglars. And this is a very nice German media book. I also purchased two other media books from Germany, and this is Antony and Cleopatra with Charlton Heston, who also directed and wrote this film. I haven't seen this one yet, but this one includes the 155-minute extended version. You know, I am a big fan of Charlton Heston. The man has such an impressive filmography. You know, Ben-Hur, The Ten Commandments, Planet of the Apes, The Big Country, Earthquake. Each and every one are all classic films. And I cannot wait to check this one out. Antony and Cleopatra. And here is The Queen of the Nile with Jean Crane and Vincent Price. This is well, basically an Italian sword and sandal film. Here's Vincent Price right there. And there he is again with this ridiculous, whatever it is he has on his head. Yeah, this looks very nice. Queen of the Nile. Speaking of Italian sword and sandal films, they're also called peplum films, by the way. This is Romolo e Remo with Steve Reeves, best known as Hercules, and Gordon Scott, best known as Tarzan. So you have Hercules and Tarzan in one movie. And interestingly enough, it was directed by none other than Sergio Corbucci. And the screenplay was co-written by none other than Sergio Leone. Now, before the two Sergios wrote history with their westerns, they made these kind of movies. And yeah, I've always enjoyed these peplum films. They're perfect to watch on a rainy Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. Here's another German Blu-ray, which apparently has two titles in Germany. Space Prey, and on the disc it says Space Wars. But originally it's called Hunter Prey. And this is an underrated little sci-fi gem and a labor of love for director Sandy Collara, who also made Batman Dead End, you know, a fan movie from 2003, I believe. You can watch it on YouTube, by the way. I'm sure some of you are familiar with it. But the premise of Hunter Prey is, well, imagine a few Mandalorians being stuck on a desert planet similar to Tatooine, and they have to hunt down an escaped prisoner. You know, that's the simple premise of this movie. And the execution is effective. Low budget, but very effective and very well made. I would definitely recommend this if you haven't seen it and if you're a big sci-fi fan. Hunter Prey. I picked up this double feature Blu-ray from Eureka. Shadow of the Hawks. It was okay. Shame about the anticlimactic ending though. Nightwing, on the other hand, I enjoyed that one. You know, it's one of those man versus nature movies that started with Jaws. Well, actually, I think it started with The Birds, but Jaws was such a big success that, you know, every movie producer wanted to cash in on that success. I picked up the French Blu-ray of You Can't Win Them All with Tony Curtis, Charles Bronson, and Michel Mercier. Did I say that right? Mercier? Who cares? My good friend Carlos, Eastwood for Life fan, picked this up as well, and he said that it doesn't have burned in French subtitles, which is usually the case with French Blu-rays, and that's also the reason why I hardly buy French Blu-rays. You know, burned in subtitles really puts me off, but fortunately this one doesn't have that. And I thought it was a very entertaining movie, by the way, and I liked the chemistry between Curtis and Bronson. It was directed by Peter Collinson, who also did the Michael Caine classic, The Italian Job, before this one. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. You can't win them all. Next is Die Hard, the Legacy Collection. As you can see, this is the German release with the brilliant German title Stirb langsam, which is almost as legendary as the original title. And it means die slowly. Not die hard, but die slowly. How about that? This comes with a hardcover booklet. Let me show the pictures here. These are all, behind the scene pictures. This is the first Die Hard. And then we have Die Hard 2, Stirb langsam 2. This is Die Hard with a Vengeance. And Die Hard 4.0, best known as Live Free or Die Hard. And then this is A Good Day to Die Hard. Yep, very nice, very nice. And of course, you got the Blu-rays here. Now, if I had to give these movies a rating number, honestly, I don't like using numerical rating system on movies, because most of the time I just don't know what number to give movies. But for the Die Hard franchise, I'll make an exception. So the first one is 10 out of 10. Easily 10 out of 10. It's the best action movie ever made, in my opinion. Die Hard 2 is a great sequel, and I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Die Hard with a Vengeance, it is an even greater sequel, and I am giving it a 9 out of 10. It was based on an original screenplay called Simon Says, and I believe at one point they wanted to turn it into a Lethal Weapon movie, but in the end it had become a Die Hard movie. Live Free or Die Hard, I like it. It's enjoyable. The ending is a bit disappointing, however, but overall it's a 7 out of 10 for me. And of course, everyone's favorite, A Good Day to Die Hard. I'd give this a 2 out of 10. And if I'm in a better mood, it's a 3 out of 10. It's an awful movie, but it's not a complete disaster. The action scenes makes it worthwhile, especially the car chase in Moscow. I enjoyed that one, I'm not gonna lie. But as a Die Hard movie, it fails miserably. John McClane is not the John McClane I know. He has become an annoying guy with annoying one-liners. He keeps saying, "I'm on vacation," and he's not on vacation. And yeah, it's an awful film. And ever since that film came out, Bruce Willis started to not giving a shit about his career anymore. And he has been making these terrible DTV movies. I saw one of them on Netflix the other day, Breach. It was horrendous. it was absolutely bad. I had to push the forward button many times because it was so bad. And Willis clearly doesn't care anymore. I remember when they wanted to do Die Hard 3, Willis said that he would only do it if the script was good. And it took a long time before they found the right script. Now, he doesn't care anymore. No, he'll do anything these days, and it's not like he needs to do these movies. No, the guy is filthy rich. Nicolas Cage does need to do these movies because he was bankrupt not so long ago. But Willis, I don't understand. But anyway, that is my German Die Hard Blu-ray box set, and that is it for my April update of 2021. I was hoping to show you the 4K Blu-ray of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly and the 4K box set of Battle Royale, but I haven't received them yet, so I have to show them and talk about them next time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you're all safe and well. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.